When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
All right. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I'm your host, Colleen Biggs, and thank you again for all of those of you that have been so dedicated to our podcast and listening to our amazing guests that we've had on here, that we have reached the top 3% of global podcasts in the world. So thank you so much for everything that you've done to contribute to that. And today we are going to have another fabulous guest and talk all about elevating your style. So we are on episode number 46 of Take the Leap, and Tania Sterl is with us today. And we are going to be diving into everything about how do you elevate your style, not only in the way you dress, but in your brand, how you act, how you show up. That is what is going to be our conversation today. And before we get to that, I want to thank our sponsor, No Problem Parenting. Are you frustrated with your kids? Do you constantly worry about them? Or maybe you're just sick and tired of dealing with misbehaviors in your home. Well, have no fear. No Problem Parenting is here to help you turn an emotional or behavioral problem into a no problem while strengthening your relationship with your kids at the same time. You don't have to be the bad guy to get your kids to behave. So join the No Problem Parenting community, where you will find down-to-earth, practical, fun, no nonsense ideas for how to deal with and overcome any parenting challenge. Go to noproblimparenting.com and get started now. Become the confident leader your kids crave you to be. And I can attest to how much I wish Jackie Finneman was around when I was raising my 7 children. And it would have been nice to have someone help me understand what to do when they, 200 times you try and put them in timeout and it doesn't work. So she is the child whisperer in my book. Now we're going to get to our special guest today, Tania Sterl, and she's a New York-based style strategist, a fashion expert, a speaker, and a published co-author. Back in the day, Tania worked in the fashion industry for 20 years as a fashion designer and model. Her designs were worn by TV personalities like Deborah Norville of Inside Edition, the Fox News team, and featured on shows like What Not to Wear and in magazines from InStyle to Essence. Now, as the founder of Sterl on Style, Tania styles emerging and established industry leaders, executives, and entrepreneurs, speakers, and authors for all of their events. From marketing to media, photo shoots and video, TV, TedX Talks, and more. Tania shows women how to elevate their image and influence their style and to be seen as leaders and experts that they truly are. Tania, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here, Colleen.
This is super exciting. I'm traveling this week, which I, boast from everywhere and to everyone that you can travel and still run your business from no matter where you are. And I'm in Vegas, not like the most prestigious, beautiful place to be, because everywhere I walk around here, my hair smells like smoke and it's disgusting. And that's how it is. And when you're in Vegas, let's just say that, But I'm working from my hotel room, and I love it that I can have these bold conversations with leaders from no matter where I set my seat and have my computer in the entire world. So Tania, you were someone who worked with me for a year to really elevate my style. And what I learned throughout that process for myself was who I was as an industry leader, how I wore way too much black. And that's a result of hiding yourself, I know. And what it was like to move a fashion level to another level of who I was and what my brand was. So tell me what it's been like for you through all these years and working with so many phenomenal women that you've worked with, and what is your normal finding in starting this process with women through this?
Yeah. So again, so happy to be here. And Vegas may be a little smoky, but a lot of business happens in Vegas, baby. So you're in the right place. So greetings from New York City. So thanks for, prefacing it with sharing your own experience that, yes, it was about color. Yes, it was about elevating your brand image. And I think oftentimes when women first think of like, oh, what a personal stylist does, they immediately think of clothing first. They immediately go, oh, you're going to look at my closet and clothing. And it's like, no, that's not where a style strategist like myself, who is styling women in the image that they want to project and convey. So yes, we get to the clothes and the colors and the jewelry and everything. But really, for those of you listening, when it comes to your style, ask yourself this: what is the image you want to project? What are those goals you have coming up the next year? Do you want to be on more, speaking on bigger stages, attracting higher level clients? It's so interesting because it's so aligned, Colleen, with the coaching and brilliant work you do. That's where you start with your clients, asking them those big vision, those big picture vision. That's where I start with my clients as well. What's your current role? What's that future goal? And how are you going to dress in a way that's going to magnetize and manifest more of what you want out of life? Because if you're dressed and ready to show up as that leader, as that expert, more opportunities will magnetize to you. So that's my baseline approach to personal styling. Yes, it's about fashion. Yes, it's about trends. Yes, it's about color. But really, before we can look at the trends and color in fashion, it's about what are your goals and what is that personal brand image? What do you want to embody and what do you want to project so that your audience, ideal clients, booking more speaking, traveling the world, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because, I always ask women, what they want. Like you said, what is your goals? What do you have set out for yourself? But the main piece of this that we haven't even addressed is, who are you, right? How do you show up in the world? And how you show up in the world matters, because we know the most confident thing or the most sexiest thing you can wear is confidence. So if you're wearing something that makes you feel phenomenal, you walk into a room feeling that way. Your shoulders are back, your chin is up, you just feel comfortable in what you're wearing. And so we tend to gravitate to the clothes that we feel the most comfortable in. So when we talk about style, our first thing that we generally gravitate to are the clothes we wear. So I tell women, when you walk into a room, own the room. How do you do that? It can be a boisterous move. It can be a silent move. It can be a power move. It can be all of those things, but whatever you do, be confident in the move that you make. So how do you walk women through this process, Tania? Because you walked me through the process, and I would love for you to share with our listeners how that happens.
Yeah. And I love that you pointed out that what we wear is a feeling.
Yeah.
What we wear affects how we feel. What we wear is that message that projects in that room. It's that presence, it's that image. So that's my approach to style is, yes, it's about the look, but what's the feeling? And so I'm so glad you prefaced it that way, because that's my approach. I want women, when they put on that color, that power outfit, that bomber jacket, those sneakers, those high heels, whatever their unique style statement is, that it is giving them the confidence to walk into that room, walk onto that interview, walk onto that stage, walk into that networking event, owning their values. So for me, style and fashion, it's really about, I always say there's like these three pillars of style. It's self-care, self-confidence, and self-expression, right? We came off of 2 years of lockdown and COVID. We were lucky to roll out of bed, show up on Zoom here and there, and brush our hair, right? So in terms of self-care, it's showing you care enough about yourself so that your audience, your clients know that you care, that you care about them. We women, we've gone through a lot of changes the last 2 years, gaining weight, losing weight. Our bodies have changed. We may have moved to a new city. We may have left that job and started a new job. We may have, had to bounce back from our businesses, even, either booming or dropping or expanding. So baseline, style is self-care, but also style is self-confidence and style is self-expression. And that's my favorite place to start when I need a new client. Like, it was so fun working with you, Colleen. Do a deep dive into a personal brand questionnaire, asking you, what are your defining words? Are you, to your point, are you the vibrant one? Are you bold? For those of you listening, these are the questions to ask yourself. What do I want to be seen as? Is it bold, or is it the understated quiet one? Style doesn't, a leadership style doesn't always have to be like bold and loud and noisy. Yours could be more solid, understated, more soft-spoken, power. So all those words inform what your personal style is going to show up as. So make sure that your style is truly expressing what makes you unique, because what makes you unique is going to make you stand out and make you memorable. We've all heard, dress your best for that best first impression. But my question to you is, how will you be remembered after you deliver the talk, after the interview, after you've done that first consult call with a potential new client? How will you be remembered as that woman in the bold orange blouse, or the fun red lipstick, or the statement eyewear? Let your style express something about you that makes you unique, and don't be afraid to try a little something new.
Yeah, I love that, because many of us women, and the women that you work with as leaders, are presenting, they're on stages, they're impacting. They make an impact on people's lives for days, for hours, for weeks, for months, for years on end, because of something you might have said. And by the way, most of the time we remember what people wear first and foremost before we remember what they said. And so if you feel confident in what you're wearing, and this is something Tania taught me, if you feel confident in something you're wearing walking out on stage, then that's a decision you don't have to make, right? You feel good in that, and you look good, you feel good in it, it's comfortable. And then you can just do your thing, right? When you don't have to worry about feeling awkward with what you're wearing, or your shoes hurt, or something's cutting at you, or you keep fidgeting with something on your shirt, how can you deliver a true message to somebody from stage if you're messing with what you have on your body? If you truly have a fit of something that makes you feel exciting, confident, beautiful, just everything that you need to feel about yourself. We have to believe in ourselves first, right? Before we can impact others. Then when you walk on stage, you feel confident enough to be able to affect others now in that space, because you, everything that you have on exuberates your confidence. So now you're confident, and you can just deliver the words that will impress upon, change someone's life, motivate them, inspire them. Tell me some of you got to share with the bloopers, because you've been in fashion and style and styled models, and have worked with women leaders, and you work with a lot of women leaders, very powerful leaders in New York today. You got to give us some of the bloopers and some of the things that you've seen where you were just like, I didn't even think this would ever be a thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One of the bloopers I witnessed and heard about, it wasn't one of my styling bloopers, but it was a blooper I heard about, was a woman delivering her first TEDx talk. So I wish I had met her right before she delivered her TEDx talk, but it was her first time delivering a TEDx talk. She was dressed and ready. What they don't really tell you in TEDx is how long you're sitting in the waiting room, because the other people are delivering. So by the time she stood up on that stage, and just for those of you listening, just imagine all the preparation. For those of you who have either delivered a TEDx talk or getting ready to, or any kind of keynote or speaking engagement, right, is like a TEDx talk. So think of all of her preparation, her life story, crafting her speech, being able to deliver it, body language, posture. What she didn't think about is how crumpled up and wrinkly her pants were going to get when she sat in the waiting room. So when she got on the stage and she delivered it with confidence, now her video lives on. She can't retake it, but you can't help but focus about how crushed and wrinkled and bunged up in the crotch her pants were the whole time. So I share the bloopers just for those of you listening. To Colleen's point, people were probably, had a moment where it was like a little distracting, but then probably focused on her message. But again, this video lives on and you can't help but notice how bunged up and wrinkly the pants are. So don't let your clothing and style become a distraction. Let the clothing and style complement you, complement your message, make you feel that comfort and confidence so that you can deliver. But again, it's visual. You can't hide behind the curtain or hide behind the stage or you're not invisible, right? Elevating your brand, elevating your message, elevating your impact, visibility is a huge part of it. And that's such a key part of your brand, Colleen, is showcasing your members, showcasing your clients in that visibility. So a big blooper. I wish I had met this woman before, but that was a big old blooper. So when I had the opportunity to style two of my clients for their TEDx talks, I made sure from head to toe, the dress would not wrinkle. It was in their power color. I also researched what the TEDx talk stage was going to look like, the background, the colors, the lighting. You step on a red dot. One of my clients loves to wear red shoes. And I'm like, if you wear red shoes and a red dot, no one's going to see your shoes. There's an art and science behind all this. So yeah, the lesson and the takeaway behind the bloopers is the clothing does matter. You don't want anything about your image or appearance to distract or take away from your confidence, power, and the message you're delivering. So have fun with your style. Like, wear different colors, wear a statement jacket. You can be playful or creative, or you can be bold, or you can be subtle or understated, but know that visual does stick with your audience. So you have to ask yourself, again, how do you want to be remembered? Don't be remembered as the woman with the wrinkly pants and the TEDx talk.
Poor thing. I mean, she spent all that time backstage, but the care that you give your clients, Tania, in spending the time to research that in a TEDx talk, they're stepping on a red dot. And if she wears red shoes, your feet are going to disappear. No one's going to see them, or they're going to clash and it's going to be the wrong red, or it's just not a good look, right? So you take a lot of care with your clients. I know you work with a lot of local clients in New York, and elevating the visibility. So we need to remember our visibility is a lot of what we say, where we show up. But a lot of that is what we look like when we show up. I love to wear statement earrings or statement shoes when I show up places, but on Zoom, there were no statement shoes, right? All my shoes were statements, but I couldn't really show up with them because I was on Zoom for so many years. So what is your brand and what does that look like? And how do people remember you? Have a style for yourself. So and here's, I guess we go back to this, Tania, we have to give ourselves permission to lean into the style that we want to be known for. And what is that? Is that an ageless style? Is it a elegant style? Is it a childish style? Is it a fun style? Is it a free bird type of style, right? What is the type of style? Because that will reflect with the words that you say. They need to match. If you show up as a very young, childish, freebird style, but your words are very aged and impactful, there's not a coherency in the way you appear and what the words you are saying. Wouldn't you say that you've got to marry those two things together?
Yeah, absolutely. Your image should be aligned with your passion, with your message, with your mission. When there's a disconnect, a lot of this is based in brain science as well. When there's a disconnect between the visual and the message, guess what's also broken? Trust. I have people trying to connect with me on LinkedIn, and when they don't have a profile picture, Stats show that that is the number one break of trust.
Yeah.
Or if the picture is blurry or some sort of weird cutout selfie where it's obvious you cut someone else out of the picture, like LinkedIn, your website, your Instagram, your YouTube, these are all opportunities to connect. And, you know, people are watching. People are watching 24/7. In your sleep, people are watching. So there absolutely needs to be a connection between your image and your message, your character, your substance, what you want to say, what you want to project. When there's that disconnect, it's human nature and it's proven in brain science, there's a break of trust. And who do we want to connect with? Who do we want to do business with? Who do we want to hire at that next, you know, client or speak engagement? People we know, like, and trust. So use your image, use your style, use your flair, use your uniqueness to match that up with your unique expression. And bottom line, Colleen, I mean, that is the depth of the reason, like my why with styling women like you, female leaders of impact. I've had the honor and pleasure of styling women for their TEDx Talks, styling female industry leaders in areas that have been male dominated for decades. One of my clients, she's CEO of an international cybersecurity firm, right? One of my new clients, she just stepped into fintech. She's former military and a rugby player and coach. I've styled a woman for her political campaign. My gosh, I've styled women who are fitness experts, opera singers. But for me, I want to help these women get their message out. I want to help these women be visible, because ultimately, when we women see another woman stepping into their leadership, we're showing other women what's possible. Right. So again, yes, it's about the fashion trends and colors and what you're going to wear, but it's really about thinking, how are you making your mark with your message? How are you making that impact? And making sure your style aligns with that impact. Because when you step on that stage, when you publish that book, when you share your story, you're showing other women what's possible. So frame that picture, frame that beautiful profile picture of yours with jewelry, colors, a unique style that really lights you up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tania, you are phenomenal. And you've styled so many women across so many different leadership roles. How do our listeners find you? What is the best way for them to connect with you, to understand how they can be styled by you? What are their options? What do you have to offer? How do they connect with you?
Yeah. So if you find yourself, you know, getting ready to speak on that stage, getting ready for a photo shoot, if you're elevating your brand, and you're opening that closet and feeling like, I don't quite think I have in my closet what I would wear. I always say, if you're being interviewed by Oprah tomorrow, what would you wear, right? And if you feel like you can't open your closet and it's not quite in there, that's what's helpful about working with a personal stylist like myself. So I am based in here in New York City. As Colleen mentioned, most of my clients are in and around New York, Connecticut, DC, New Jersey. But I do have the ability to style clients across the country. I do virtual styling, styling on Zoom. And there's always the opportunity to travel to New York, or I can travel to your city to style you there. So it's really simple. It starts with a discovery call. Let's talk about your goals for your business, your goals for your brand, and your goals for your image. And we can discuss how my personal styling services work to really make finding your style, shopping, pulling it together so much easier. So just connect with me through my website, sterlonstyle.com. It's STERLONSTYLE. And it just starts with a free 30-minute discovery call. So I invite you to connect with me.
Yeah, and you guys can find her as well on Instagram at sterlonstyle, Tania Sterl at LinkedIn, or Facebook, sterlonstyle as well. And yes, I highly recommend that you follow her on all these social media channels. Get to know her really, really well. She's a good friend of mine. I'm so thankful for all the closets she put together for me on my easy apps on my phone, for me to be able to see what to wear. She just knows how to layer things that I never would have layered or put together. She just has that eye. Let me just say that right now. So how you elevate your style really begins with you. And ladies, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that will ever be. This is your time to shine. It's your time to put your style on. It's your time to wear bright pink like Tania is today. And I love that sweater. It's your chance to wear the colors that make you feel sexy, that make you feel confident, so you can deliver the message you need to, that is your style. And the only way you're going to figure that out is by working with someone like Tania, who can help you really hone in and answer those questions. Give yourself permission today to elevate your style, step into your power, and really be able to impact the people that you dare to impact today. Tania, you've been an amazing guest. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Colleen. It's always so much fun.
All right, ladies, thank you for being with us today. And thank you, Tania, for being with us. And I just want to say, until next time, be you and be strong. And until then, we'll see you again. Bye-bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.colleenbiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.